Coach Terry Steiner about on his way to leave for Japan for the World Cup for freestyle for the women. And Terry, could you talk a little bit about the Olympic athletes? You have 3 athletes on this tour that are going to compete in the World Cup, and how this event will help them in their preparation for London.
Well, I think for the most part it's a very important competition for us from a program standpoint. After the Olympic trials, there's definitely a little bit of dissension. I mean, we have a program that has 4 happy athletes, and everyone else is brokenhearted and a little bit discouraged and a little bit frustrated because of the results of the Olympic trials. So you want some reason to pull people back together, and the World Cup is a team competition. We can't do this with 4 athletes. We have to do it as a program and as a team. And so that's really been our message back to the group is, here's a good reason for us to pull back together, and so that's kind of how we've been using it and getting ready for it. The World Cup is an important competition. I mean, we have the top 8 teams in the world from last year's World Championship competing here. We're in Tokyo, which is huge for women's wrestling, and so we'd like to go over there and make a statement, and that we're here as a program, and we're coming here to win. And the last 2 years we've been number 2 behind China at this event, and I'd like to think that we've made some improvements, and hopefully we can show that this weekend.
Now, your athletes obviously are coming off a pretty big peak at Olympic trials, but they've done some training since then. What's their preparation level for World Cup? Are you seeing good things in the room and from the athletes on the tour?
I am. I mean, ultimately, our main focus obviously is the Olympic Games, but I think this is an important event just to get us back in that competition mindset. We've had 2 great weeks of training. I think the girls have been pushing very hard, and I think they're ready again to be back in that fire and back in that competition mode. So yeah, I think it's a great time for us, and we're at the end of May, beginning of June. We're about 70 days out of the Olympic Games, and I think it's just a good timing for us to give ourselves a little bit of a test.
Now, during your training, you happen to have an Olympic champ from Japan out here training, Corey Icho at 63 kilos. How did that work out for the U.S. athletes as well as for her to be training with the Americans here in the Springs?
Well, I'm sure it was good for her. She wouldn't have came here,
Right.
But for us, I think it was outstanding. I think it was a great opportunity for not just Elena, who's our number 1 person, our Olympian at 63 kilos, to be around Kaori and to wrestle with her and feel her style and just to be around her a little bit more. But I think it was important for everyone, to realize that, okay, here's one of the best that has ever been in women's wrestling. She's a 2-time Olympic champion, a 7-time world champion. She's obviously been highly successful while she's been at the senior level for Japan. But I think it was important for us to be around her just to realize, hey, she's a human being, and yes, she does work hard, she's very focused, but she's also human, and we can compete with her and we can wrestle with her, and to just take that mystique away a little bit. And I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, I think we have a team that can compete and beat anyone in the world, but we have to go in there with that mindset that we're just like everyone else.
Right.
They're no better than us, and they're going to be hard to take down, they're going to be hard to beat, but it's within reach, and it's right there. If we just have to go out and compete to win, and when we do that, I think good things happen for us, and that's where we are with the program. I don't think we need to put anyone on a pedestal. We know there's great competition. We respect that great competition. There's great teams out there. There's great individuals out there, but there's no better than our girls and our athletes and our program. So that's kind of how we're going into this.
Now, looking into the competition ahead, how hard will it be to win World Cup in Japan? I mean, we did it in 2004, right? We went over to Japan and won the World Cup in Japan. How difficult will it be for your team to come home with that first place trophy?
Well, we're going to be in battles, and we have to go in expecting great battles in every match, and we just have to be ready to rise above it.
Right.
Is it going to be tough? Yeah, it's going to be tough, but not unattainable. And we just have to go in with the right mindset, expecting to win, expecting battles. And if we do that, I think we're going to be fine. And so, again, I've said this for 3 to 4 years. I like this group of athletes that we have right now, and that hasn't changed. I
Right.
think we have a very good group, not just the team, but the team behind the team. Our number 2s, our number 3s, our number 4s. I think we have a great group of athletes that are working together, that believe in each other, that are pushing each other and driving each other. And that's really, I think, what's hit me the last couple of weeks.
Right.
We've got right back in that room, and even though people are a little bit discouraged, a little bit brokenhearted, maybe from their result not being where it wants to, or where they wanted it to be, they're back in there and they're pushing those number ones. They're supporting them. They're pushing themselves, and that's, I think, when you know when your program's going on the right track, is when everyone is working together, and that's what I feel right now. So I feel very good going in. You know, we're going in to learn as much as we can about each other,
Right.
About ourselves and about each other, and we're going to see if we can get this job done.
Outstanding. Thanks, Coach.